Senator Cortez Masto.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And let me follow up on Senator Kennedy's line of questioning. Mr. Kelly, and I think both you and Mr. Patziadli talked about this, the need to be studied, and you talked about empirically based. What do you mean by that?
Senator Cortez Masto, I would say to you that we want to be, if you look at the history of how we've made these decisions, they've always been in crisis. 2008 was a crisis, the permanency in 2010. You go back 28 years before that, we made a decision in 1980 to raise it to $100,000 in the midst of a crisis. And what we believe is there is enough data there with the approval of the FDIC to look at its original intent to provide safety and confidence in the financial system that can cover where individuals don't have to make the decision whether I want to bank at Kenneth's Bank or the largest bank, creating that sense of safety. What Senator Warren mentioned a moment ago is implicit that there was not that level of confidence in the system after 2023. And what we're suggesting is there's the data there that we should be able to run, come up with a reasonable solution, and make that going forward index to inflation.
Mr. Patziadli?
Yes.
Say that again, because I'm not going to call you Scooter. Patziadli?
Patziadli, yes.
you.
Thank you very much. No, I would offer a little bit of a countervailing perspective, which is I come from a regional banking background. I've been at 2 large regional banks, and I will say during our experience while in 2023, we had the unique opportunity, which was we did see the deposit runs starting to come out of the bank, but we put together a Tiger team, and we spent every single day, every day at 5 o'clock, it was everybody from commercial bankers to consumer bankers to legal risk getting together and saying, how are we winning the deposit battle? How are we stopping these outflows from happening? And we were able to do that at the bank at that time. So there is the ability to stop these outflows from a too big to fail perspective. It takes a lot of work. I will tell you, we worked our tails off to make sure that didn't happen. And the bank ultimately was able to keep, we were one of the few banks, regional banks while I was there at my prior employer, to grow deposits during the outflow market. So it takes work, but yes, it can be done.
So let me ask Mr. Rice and Mr. Harrison, do you see a distinction amongst, if we're just talking about the type of account, which is a payroll non-interest-bearing commercial account, do you see a distinction there that some should have different levels of coverage or not?
Peter, if you don't mind, I'd go first. We do. And we're longtime members of the ABA. We're fully supportive of the work they're doing. We think the analysis is there. We think the facts are there. It's not a crisis today. It was a crisis 2.5 years ago, and I think now is the time in a period of calm to really look at what was the specific problem. The problem was uninsured operating accounts, and the solution is what we're proposing.
Okay.
Or Senator Hagerty and Senator Alsopbrooks.
Right. You believe there's enough data already?
We feel, and the FDIC came out in the 2023 study and did on that and said, if we looked at operating accounts, that would be a potential targeted solution. That was in their analysis.
Okay. Mr. Rice?
Senator, on a broader level, I'd like to boil things down to what's talked about on the street. We wouldn't allow Americans to underinsure their homes or their motor cars. Why do we allow that asset class to go uninsured? So that's the first point I'd like to make. Secondly, I think my testimony demonstrates the risk to everyday Americans when payroll companies fail, because the amounts in those payroll companies tend to be way larger than $250,000.
Yeah, thank you. The other thing, and I think, Mr. Rice, you talked about this, you talked about the impact to the employees and to these small businesses. But you also, in your, I believe it's in your written testimony, you talked a little bit about national security issues.
Absolutely.
Will you address that a little bit and why
Absolutely.
this is such an important for us to take into consideration?
Absolutely. For many years, our government has sought through various programs, including SBIR, to make sure our national security resilience remains strong by spreading contracts out to small businesses. One example I gave is in everyone's living room right now, it's Roomba. The Roomba was originally designed and supported by SBIR for bomb disposal in Afghanistan and Iraq. So it saved lives, and now it cleans living rooms. But that's the power of not just a national defense issue that can be turned into everyday benefit for Americans. So these companies are really vital to our economy and to our defense. I think I also highlighted Lockheed Martin. Gives out $6.6 billion in contracts to small companies, and the Orion project, which is our deep space program, has about 1,500 small businesses in support of that program, and almost every senator's district is represented in that program.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.